Hey guys, Happy New Year! Look at this, polka dots. My Filipinos know New Year, polka dots. You know? If you know, you know. I hope you guys had a great holiday season, celebrating if you do, however you like to, with your friends, with your family, by yourself. Today, we are talking about all of the products from Q4 that I am about to toss. This is my quarterly empties video. We're talking about all the different products between skincare, hair care, makeup, body care that I used up completely and I'm tossing, and I'm giving you guys the full rundown, the full review on all of these products. I really like filming these empties videos because I feel like it gives you an exact idea kind of how a product performs throughout its lifespan. And sometimes I feel like I much rather would see a review of an empty versus a first impression, you know? So that's kind of why I continue to do these empties videos. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys enjoy empties videos. For the most part, it seems like you guys really do. So I have a bunch of different things. I feel like every quarter we are just emptying even more products, and I kind of have a feeling that it's because I feel really motivated each time that I do these videos. I'm like, dang, I had a lot this time around. So I feel like in the back of my head I'm attempting to empty everything so I can include it in this video and let you guys know my thoughts on it. So we're gonna start off with some makeup because I actually have a handful of makeup things. This is kind of makeup related. This is the Cinema Secrets makeup brush cleaner. This typically is like this sheer blue color of a liquid, and essentially what this is, it's a quick makeup cleaner. So all you have to do with this is you put a little bit in a container. Typically these come with like a metal tin, and then you dip the very tip of your brush in there and immediately just kind of swirl it onto a paper towel or a regular towel, and then your brush is clean. It virtually dries within seconds. It's incredible. It's most definitely not going to be a deep clean type of thing. You're still going to want to go in and actually clean your brushes with soap and water, but this is great for in a pinch between doing makeup looks and stuff. If you want to use that same brush, you can just dip this in for a quick clean to get all of the pigmentation off of it and to just kind of sanitize it a little bit more. I've seen some people use this and they'll like dunk their entire brush in it. You do not have to do that. Your bristles will soak everything up just by touching the tip of the bristles into this. It does have a very strong scent though. You have to make sure that you like the scent. It doesn't smell like anything in particular. To me now, it just smells like brush cleaner, you know? It kind of smells like cleaning product, but a little bit sweeter, like on the more vanilla-y side, like they tried to mask the cleaning product scent of it. I don't really know. Currently though, I am using the Sephora equivalent to this, so I don't plan on buying this anytime soon just because I feel like that one that I'm using is going to last me quite a long time, but I definitely recommend this. I think it is probably one of the best quick drying makeup brush cleaners. Next is my favorite brow pencil. This is the Kosas Nano Brow Pop eyebrow pencil in the shade Brown Black. This is going to be one of those super micro tiny little tips, and this is probably the thinnest tip that I have been able to find. I love this pencil. Specifically, I love the size of it. I think that it is the best thing to create hair-like strokes without having to go in with an actual eyebrow pen. And also, this color is perfect for my eyebrow hairs. It pretty much exactly matches it. I used to kind of go for like dark browns, but I was noticing that whenever I would see my brows in the daylight, you could see that my brows were filled in with brown versus black because my brow hairs are black. So this is great. If I go for just black, it tends to just become too bold because I do like to fill in like the sparse areas, mainly on the tail end of my brows, and that can build up very quickly. I also like to use this on the bottoms of my brows to kind of create those hair-like strokes. This is perfect for that. I kind of switch between a brow pen and this one. I use them in tandem actually. So I'll go in, I'll fill in all of my brows wherever I want to, and then for those really small detailed hairs where I want it to look a little bit more natural, I'll actually go in with a brow pen and go a little past my natural like shape of my brow, because that tends to make it look a little bit more like a natural hair when it's a little bit more dispersed unevenly, if that makes sense. So I love this one. I use use this every time I do my makeup. I honestly feel like this is the only thing that I justified having backups and purchasing backups of this year, because I have been using this nonstop. I haven't found anything that I like more than this. I thought that I go through these a lot quicker, but I don't think that I do. Now that I've done multiple empties videos, I'm seeing that it's actually taking me quite a while to go through these brow pencils. And I think it's because I use a mixture of brow products whenever I do my brows. But anyways, this is the best. It's also a really cute pen. I don't know. I know that doesn't really mean anything, but I like it a lot, and it stays on the brows. It's nice and waxy, and it's slightly creamy, but not creamy enough to where it just looks like a blur, like a smudge on the brows. The next two things are actually makeup products that are in my project pan, so I don't want to go on and on about it in this video. If you guys want to hear my thoughts on these products, go watch my project pan update videos. I have, I think, 3, maybe 4 update videos at this point, and I talk in length about both of these, but I just wanted to show you guys because they are empties. But the first one is going to be the Sigma Color Correcting Duo in the shade medium to dark. I love this. It's one of my absolute favorite color correctors. There's still a little bit of product right there on the inner corners and stuff, but it just got a little too difficult to like really cram my brush in there to use and get an ample amount of product to where it actually was working, you know? So I went ahead and I cracked open a new one that I already had. This is incredible. If you need any sort of color correcting when it comes to hyperpigmentation, acne, scarring, and even brightening under the eyes, I think that this is perfect because it has those 2 different colors that you can customize this shade for. And if you're anything like me, I tan very easily. So throughout the year, I'm just constantly tan and then losing my tan and really pale for my skin tone, you know, like just going through all of those different shades. And for me, I really like that throughout the year I can use this because I can customize the color corrector to exactly what I need it to be. And next is, like I mentioned, something that is in my project pan, the Makeup by Mario eyeliner pencil in the shade Perfect Brown. It's gone. Is it in here? Oh my gosh, yeah. It was in the cap. So this thing basically dried out before I could completely finish it. But I will say that we did a pretty good job on this thing. This is the smallest I've ever gotten an eyeliner pencil, specifically an eyeliner pencil. Before this, I was mainly using liquid liners, and now I barely touch a liquid liner. When it wasn't dried out, it was nice and creamy. I really like how usable this brush on the other end is. It actually is really good at smudging out the eyeliner and winging it out too. I think it's the perfect density where it's not like super flimsy and stuff, you know, and the product itself was creamy enough to where I could do that with this brush. And it is really the perfect brown shade. It's like a nice like milk dark chocolate hybrid brown that looks so natural on the face. I definitely gravitated to this brown versus black eyeliners this year, and I think it just worked better with my overall like preference with my makeup, which was more of a natural look for the most part. I mean, not today. You see this eyeshadow? It got a little out of hand. I wanted to play a little bit, but not this much. I don't know what happened. Next, we're moving on to hair products that I emptied this quarter. And the first one is this Bumble and Bumble thickening spray. And this is actually the light version. I was using the original regular one for years before I used this light one. I thought that the light one would be for finer, thinner textured hair, but it's actually marketed to those that have thicker, longer hair because you're supposed to be able to use a lot of the product without it getting like crunchy and stiff in the hair. And I would agree with that. I think that this is a great thickening, dry texture spray because it's still movable. It doesn't get crunchy in your hair. It allows me to spray this all in my hair, and you can see like the different layers after I style it to get it to where my hair doesn't just like blend back into itself. I use a texture spray and it just allows all of those little ends and bits and stuff to kind of stay in place. I actually do think that this does feel lighter than the original one in my hair, and it gives me the same amount of hold. Now I do have to use a lot of this product, and I find that's the case with a lot of texture sprays that I personally gravitate towards. I don't like a texture spray that when you spray it in, it dries down almost crunchy like a hairspray. I want something that I can like move around, something I can like run my hands through, you know? And it seems to be the case with a lot of texture sprays that they do get a little bit crunchy and heavy, but this one doesn't. I really like it, and I'm actually working on another bottle currently. I feel like I'm almost halfway through that, but but I wish I didn't have to use so much, but it is one of the best ones that I found. I do also, if you want an alternative, I really like the Kristen S texture spray, and the Living Proof one is also good as well, but this is just the one that I've been using the last couple of months. I can't shut up about these next two products because I feel like they really have changed my hair game, and they are the Necessaire Rosemary shampoo and conditioner. I don't know why I blanked there. I talk about these literally every second that I can, every chance that I get, but these are supposed to be strengthening and cleansing shampoos and conditioners. They have that classic Necessaire opening mechanism that I actually really love. It kind of gets rid of the bulk whenever you have to like flip a top or remove the top when you're in the shower. You just flip it or twist it open, and then it's open, and then you just twist it closed. That's just a little something that I genuinely really like about Necessaire. But the products themselves, just a preface for you guys, I wasn't really using any specific shampoo and conditioner. I was kind of just using whatever I was receiving in PR, which was fine and I was grateful for. And before that, I was just using like hydrating shampoos and conditioners. But once I started using these, almost immediately I saw a difference in the way that my hair moved and the way that my hair felt. I feel like these actually genuinely cleanse my hair and my scalp to where my hair almost looked more voluminous because there was nothing in my scalp weighing my hair down. All of the buildup was completely taken out, but my hair didn't feel stripped and straw-like and dry. That's not necessarily an issue for me. Like I said, I've been on this like hair journey for a couple of years now where I was just kind of reverting my hair back to its natural state. I talked all about this in a recent FAQ hair, like all about hair video that I did. But these seriously like made me picky about shampoo and conditioner, which was something that I was not before. If you find that your hair gets very oily very quickly, you may be using shampoos and conditioners that are too moisturizing for your hair, like weighing it down and giving you too much moisture, and that is a thing for sure. But if you find that your hair is too straw-like or kind of prone to breakage, maybe you're giving your hair a little bit too much protein. That's definitely a thing too. You kind of have to find that perfect balance, and I think I found the perfect balance for myself with these products. Oh my gosh, they're seriously so good. The only thing is that it took me a second to get used to the scent of this because they kind of smell like mosquito repellent. The rosemary in it kind of smells like a citronella candle to me, but now I like the scent. I'm like used to it. I feel like it smells really nice and luxe, but I wouldn't mind if they added a little something to the scent, you know what I mean? These are great. I currently have 2 new bottles in my shower right now. Me and my husband both use this, and both of us have seen a significant difference in the way that our hair moves and also like flakiness and buildup just generally. All right, another thing that I continue to empty, I'm not going to go on and on about, but the Living Proof Advanced Clean Dry Shampoo. This one in the silver bottle is my favorite from Living Proof. It feels really good in the hair. It feels nice and lightweight in terms of a dry shampoo. You're still going to feel it in your hair, don't get me wrong. Like it's still going to feel like you sprayed essentially a powder in your hair, but this is the lightest weight one that I've found and the one that actually keeps my hair oil free the longest. So I like to actually spray this all up in my roots the night before, or at least a couple of hours before I style my hair, so it can really set in there, it can really absorb everything, and then I'll like zhuzh everything out. Sometimes I'll actually take my blow dryer too and I'll like zhuzh my hair as I'm blow drying in case there's like any dry shampoo flakes and stuff, you know, and usually there's not, but it just kind of speeds up the process of getting it worked through my hair, and it's great. It has a I can't remember. How can I not remember what the scent is? It's almost like a sweet lemon scent, but it's not like Pledge cleaner type of scent. It definitely has a strong scent to it, but I find that it doesn't linger in my hair too long, and it also doesn't compete with any fragrances or anything else that I wear, but it's great. I love to use this before I style my hair too because it gives it a little extra grit and like volume. We're going into the biggest category here, which is always the case when it comes to these empties videos for me. It is my skincare category. I tend to go through skincare quite quickly, and actually no, I don't go through it quickly. I have a lot of skincare that I'm constantly rotating, that I'm always finishing something off because I'm just like, I'm using a lot of things, you know? Does that make sense? So the first thing are these Silcot cotton cloth pads. These are basically like cotton rounds, except they are square. All right, so I grabbed a sheet for you guys to see. So they look like this, and they come as a set of 2, and they're perforated right there in the middle. And it has this like wavy texture to them. And if you guys can see right there just how thin these are, and not only are they thin, but they're not fuzzy the same way that cotton rounds can be, like from Ulta or Target or something. Like if I go like this, it's not going to create a ton of lint and a ton of like fuzzies. This is actually a very compact, very plush, almost I want to say it's like Angel Soft toilet paper texture, where it's a little bouncy, you know? But these are the best for DIY sheet masks. I like to go in with a hydrating toner, or really just any toner. I'll go in and pour it all over my cottons and completely soak it, kind of like mush it in my hand to get it soaked all the way. And then once it's fully soaked in, I will like place it on my face. And as you can see, those little curves that it has perfectly fit around the crevices around your face. Like you can put it here, you could put it here if you want to focus on the under eyes. And typically for my forehead, I won't break the 2 in half, and I'll just put it like this. It also fits right under the mouth if you want to put a sheet mask under the mouth too. So I got these actually in Japan, but I know that you can purchase them on YesStyle. I think I've also seen them on Stylovana. The Silcot, it's 1.5 like size, so that's why it's so thin. They have different versions too. I think one of the versions has like vitamin C infused in them. I just get the original. I don't really know too much about the other one. I think I bought the other one because that's what they had when I visited Japan. They're the best. They are in the @Cosme Hall of Fame for good reason. It's such a funny thing to be so dedicated to a cotton round or cotton mask sheet thing, but I truly am. Like, this has been a game changer for my skin. I love it. I only have one little sheet of this, but this actually came in like a pack here. But these are the VT Cica and Hyalon pimple patches. It comes with a couple of rows of pimple patches, and these were good, but they're definitely not my favorite. My favorite thing about this is that when you apply it, it's going to be more of that transparent looking pimple patch. So when you put it on, it basically looks undetectable on the skin. But I will say that with these, you have to apply them on dry skin, or if you put skincare on, it has to be the type of skincare that fully dries down, doesn't leave any like residue, and then you can put it on, because the adhesive on these is not the strongest that I've found. But I do find this helps with the healing process of my pimples, because I like to put a spot treatment or something on my pimples after I wash my face, and then I'll let that completely dry down before doing the rest of my skincare. But before that, after doing my spot treatment and letting it dry, I will apply a pimple patch, and with these I was doing that. I would apply it on top of there, and then I felt like it kind of trapped in the spot treatment, so it allowed it to really absorb versus getting like evaporated into the air, you know? And I think that really helped the process of these healing. And this has Cica infused in it, so the spot treatment didn't dry out the skin, if that makes sense. And I liked it for that reason, but the adhesion was like my big issue. Like, even if I pulled these off with tweezers and then I put it onto a spot, wherever the tweezers touched, it wouldn't adhere anymore, which was kind of a bummer. But I liked them. I used them up. I thought that they were good to use whenever I was home just working, not wearing any makeup, because I could easily just like stick it on there onto a bare face, and if it didn't adhere properly, then I could just put a new one on. So I liked them, but it's not going to be the first one that I repurchase. Now this one is something that I have repurchased, and I really like this moisturizer. This is from Dieux. It's the Air Angel Hydrating Gel Cream. This is going to be the gel cream version of the Instant Angel, which is like a more creamy moisturizer that's meant for normal to dry skin. This one I would say is more catered to us with oily skin. It's one of those gel creams that actually feels like a gel and a cream at the same time. The best way that I can explain this is that it feels almost like a pillowy gel cream, you know? When you put it onto the skin, it looks like a gel, but when you actually spread it onto the skin, it almost feels silky. Like it feels plush and silky, and it's such an odd thing to experience with like a moisturizer, you know? But it truly is that. It feels silky on the skin, and even though it looks very hydrating on the skin when you first apply it, it fully absorbs, so it doesn't leave you feeling greasy like some moisturizers can. It works really well with my makeup, and it doesn't like get in the way of any of my other serums or any of my other skincare. I love this. This was one that I continued to go back to whenever I was like playing around with different skincare, or if I just was having a breakout and I needed to simplify my skincare and go back to products that I knew my skin liked. This was the moisturizer that I would tend to gravitate to. I believe this is also marketed to acne prone skin. If I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to also cater to those of us that have acne. So this is so good. I purchased my first bottle, and then they sent me a second bottle, and then I purchased another bottle. So I think gone through 2 of these, and I'm on my 3rd one, I think, or maybe my 4th one. I don't even know. Oh, the big con about this one though is that unfortunately hello, what's this called? The tube, the thing where the product goes through. This thing, it's not long enough. Like it doesn't reach the very bottom or something. I don't know what it is. I think it doesn't reach the very bottom, but there's no like bag or anything in here. It's just strictly aluminum, which is great for recycling purposes, but it doesn't reach all of the products. So once it stops pumping out of this pump, there's still a ton of product in there. So for a couple of weeks, I want to say at least a month, I'm like scraping at this bottle to get everything out. So that's the only con. It does come with more product than you think it does. I guess that's a silver lining. I guess that's a different angle to look at it, but that's something to know. Next, we have a cleansing oil. This is the Manyo Pure Cleansing Oil, and I actually bought this as a 2-pack at Costco. They started selling these at Costco a couple months ago, and oh, I was so excited. I am actually still so excited that I'm seeing more and more K-beauty and J-beauty skincare stuff like pop up at Costco. Like, yeah, give me more. I bought this cleansing oil. It was my first time trying the cleansing oil, but it was at such a good price that I was like, yeah, I'll buy a 2-pack. Oh, and it also came with a travel size actually that I brought with me whenever I was traveling this year. This is a good, very trusty cleanser. I found that it removed my makeup pretty well. I don't think it removed my makeup fully. Actually, no, let me take that back. I do think it removed my makeup fully, but the problem with this for me was that it was a little bit hard when you emulsified it, which is basically just adding water to it after you dry rub this into your skin. Once you start to emulsify it with water, it's a little difficult to wash everything away. Like it kind of was one of those that slowly crept into your hairline and you had to keep taking more and more water until like your whole head was wet. You know what I'm talking about? It was one of those that kind of took more effort to wash off of the skin, not because it left a film or anything like that. It never felt filmy. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever used the Elemis Pro Collagen Balm. That one, once you wash it off, it feels like you have like a filmy oil. It didn't feel like that at all. I don't know what it was. I think it's just a little bit more difficult to wash off the emulsified product on here because it just like spreads all over the face. So because of that, I feel like even though I felt like I thoroughly washed my face, whenever I would go in and wipe my face down, I would have leftover makeup on my towel. Not a huge deal. It still clarified the skin very well. Didn't leave me stripped, didn't leave a film, which the film is the most annoying part for me of oil cleansers. This didn't do that. So I would still say it's a pretty good oil cleanser. I will probably use the bottle that I have because I have it, but I don't know if it's one that I want to repurchase, you know? Another product that I don't want to talk in length about because I talk about this in every single empties video because I seem to empty one of these every quarter. It's the Heroine Make Mascara Remover, and it basically looks like this little comb and it has these divots here that hold the product. Essentially, it's just a blend of different oils, and you use this and brush it into your lashes whenever you're wearing mascara. Leave it for a couple of minutes, and then then you wipe it away. I like to use a cotton to wipe this because if I try to remove this with the rest of my makeup with like an oil cleanser, like the Manyo one or something, it does leave a little bit of a residue. So I like to completely take this off with a separate cotton, and then I'll go in and cleanse the rest of my face. But this is incredible, especially if you wear Asian mascaras. Those tend to be the most stubborn ones that I have come across. Or maybe if you wear waterproof mascara, this is a really, really great mascara remover. Think of this as like an eye makeup remover, but just for your lashes. It also removes lash glue too. I've noticed whenever I've done like my under eye lash clusters and stuff, if I use this after I remove them and then kind of use like a lash comb to comb it through, then it completely gets rid of that and I don't have any of that stickiness whenever I'm sleeping. All right, I've got a pack of these Mediheal Madecassoside blemish pads. Looking at that word always intimidates me, but it's actually pretty easy to say. So I got these at Costco also, but online Costco. So if you go on Costco's website, you can see a more extensive range of Asian skincare, and this was on there. I was so excited because it came with 2 packs. So it's this and essentially another one of this, but it's just like a refill pack. This was the first pack. It comes with 100 sheets, I believe is what it is. This one is so calming for the skin. If you have irritated skin, if you have eczema, if you're acne prone, or if you just want a little bit of hydration, this one I would say is the best one out of the whole Mediheal line. This felt super hydrating on the skin, and it honestly made my skin look more plump whenever I was using this. So it does come with these tongs right here, as do many of the Asian skincare like toner pad brands or products do. And then it has a sheet. I kept a sheet. Oh my gosh, there's 2. These are super paper thin, and I think I talked about something like this recently, but essentially it's a very thin, very thin cotton right here. I wouldn't even say it's a cotton. It kind of looks like a woven fabric if you look very closely at it, and it just keeps the liquid in there. Like it holds it in there. These stay completely soaked and they stay on your skin because this is so incredibly thin, and it actually feels like my skin is like drinking this up. It does have a little bit of a strong scent to it. I don't know, I can't really place what the scent is. It doesn't smell like it's trying to mask anything. Like it doesn't smell like an added fragrance. It almost just smells like skincare products. But these, I think toner pads from Asian beauty brands are elite because of the way they stick on the skin, and also the fact that you don't have to wear them for that long. These you can wear even less than 5 minutes. Sometimes I'll go in with 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but for the most part, after I would wash my face, I would just stick a couple of these on my skin, leave it for like 3 minutes or so max, and then remove it and just pat it in. And this took the place of any toner. So I would just go in with the rest of my skincare. They're incredible. I feel like whenever my skin was going through something, it was irritated and I was going through breakouts and stuff, this would calm my skin almost instantly. It's so good. You'd think that using multiple of the sheets, you'd go through this very quickly, but honestly, this lasted me a very long time. And if you can get it on a sale or a deal or something like Costco, highly recommend, highly recommend. But I'd actually say these are more available, readily available. I saw them at Urban Outfitters like a couple weeks ago. Okay, let's talk about something that I think has been discontinued, and it kind of hurts my feelings that they discontinued this. This was something I did not think that I would be so incredibly in love with. This is from I Do Care. It's the Cleans It Away Salicylic Acid Acne Foaming Cleanser. So I love a foaming cleanser. I feel like the actual act of washing my face is just more fun whenever it comes in this like pump foam. It's like the foam hand soaps and stuff. Essentially that type of mechanism, but it's a face wash. And supposedly when it's in a foam form, that was hard to say, foam form, it's supposed to penetrate the skin deeper because those foam molecules are smaller. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. But this works so well on my acne. It has 1.5% salicylic acid, and it did not dry my skin out. It did not strip it, but my skin definitely felt really clean. I think 1.5% is like the golden ratio of salicylic acid for my skin personally. It's like just enough to be effective, but it's not enough to be drying, you know? So this was incredible. I love this. It had like a little bit of a zesty citrus scent to it, but not too much to where it felt like it was going to irritate my skin. But sadly, after I purchased, I think my second bottle of it, I was not able to find this on Ulta's website, at Ulta stores. I don't think I can even find it on I Do Care's site. So kind of a bummer. I was scrambling to find a new acne cleanser because this was the one that I was using every morning. Ugh. My heart. I did find a good replacement though. It's not the same texturally, but I started using the Prequel Cleanser. They came out with a salicylic acid version of their really popular cleanser, and so far I've been really enjoying that one. So good timing, like finding that one and this one being discontinued. Next is a face serum. This is the Face Reality Skincare 8% l-Mandelic serum. This one I got from my esthetician, I think earlier this year, or no, actually I think it was late last year, and I haven't finished this one, but I think that it has expired because the scent has kind of gone off. This one is, like I said, l-Mandelic acid. So with l-Mandelic acid, it is an AHA, but it has a larger molecular weight, so it does penetrate the skin slower. So because of that, it's a lot more gentle. But the problem that I had with this is that I was using other AHAs as well as VHAs that I feel like were a bit more aggressive than this. So whenever I used this, I felt like I wasn't seeing as much results as I was with other chemical exfoliants, you know? So I liked this. It was a gentler chemical exfoliator that I could use in tandem with other actives and stuff like that, but it just wasn't really doing it for me. Like whenever I use chemical exfoliants, I like where the next day my skin looks really smooth, it looks really glossy, it really calms my skin if I have any breakouts and stuff. And I found that I was just using other serums and products that did it better than this one. So while this is good, I probably wouldn't repurchase this. And I also think it's a little bit expensive. It's not more expensive than other chemical exfoliators, but just in general, I think it is a little more pricey. But this brand in general, I would consider trying more of their products because I'm very interested in some of their other actives. Okay, next I have the Stratia Interface, and this one's actually expired. I've had this bottle for a really long time. If you guys know Stratia, you know that they rebranded a while ago, and this is their old packaging. This is essentially a peptide moisturizer, and it's geared more towards those that have dry skin. So as you can imagine, it's gonna be a thicker moisturizer. I actually liked using this to combine and mix with serums and things like the Lipid Gold because it sort of like thinned out the consistency of this one, and it's good. It's definitely going to be like that no fuss, it does what it's supposed to do type of peptide moisturizer. It's not going to add anything incredibly life-changing in my opinion, but it's going to be one of those things where like it's a trusty skincare product. So because of that thicker texture, I typically would only use this one at night, and the next morning my skin always looked really hydrated and moisturized and stuff, but there's just, I don't know, it's just a regular moisturizer. And sometimes with skincare, if I'm gonna spend so much time doing it morning and night, I want it to be a little bit more fun and more of a like entertaining experience. And for me, that's definitely going to be a product that like I use it when I just need a moisturizer and I don't want to fuss with anything else. Another skincare product I'm not going to go on and on about, the COSRX Snail Mucin Essence. I have been trying to use other products to replace this one, but to be quite honest, nothing does it like this one does. This is hydrating on my skin. It really helps to absorb all of my other skincare. I find that my skin looks bouncy even after my skin has like fully absorbed all of my skincare products. And the texture of this is just perfect. It's that perfect, like kind of stringy snail mucin texture that I love. It really like smooths over onto the skin. I have been using the Mucin Bean Essence. I find that one is definitely a little bit more runny than this one, and I almost feel like that one dissipates and absorbs into the skin too quickly, where it doesn't feel like it's leaving me more hydrated. This gives me like glassy, hydrated, plump skin and actual hydrated skin. You have to use this on top of damp skin and then use all your serums with it because it can irritate the skin and it could essentially break you out because this is a humectant, so it does require the moisture on the skin to properly absorb. Another holy grail, I've talked about this a lot. This is the Sunday Riley UFO acne oil, the acne treatment face oil. This has, again, 1.5% salicylic acid, and I don't know what they put in this, you guys, but my skin is addicted to this. Now, I know a lot of people have been like, it's just a salicylic acne acid serum, like you can find a replacement. But no, okay, I've tried. I am actively using the Naturium one. I'm using the La Roche-Posay one. I think that there was one from Dermalogica that I used that was more expensive, if I'm being honest. But I have looked for alternatives to this, but there is nothing that compares to this for my skin. My skin just loves this. I think one of the best things about this is the actual sensorial feel of putting this on. Because it is that oil format, it just slicks over the skin, but it's not a greasy oil that stays greasy on the skin. It fully absorbs after a couple of minutes. And I think having it be in that oil format really counteracts any drying that can happen with salicylic acid. Now, I know that I said that 1.5% is like the perfect golden ratio for my skin, but if you really think about it, if I'm going in with an acne cleanser and an acne like serum all over my face and then maybe an acne moisturizer, that all together in my head seems like it can become drying, but this does not do that for me. Like, it is perfection. And also the green color, I mean, we can't deny the green is fun. It's fun to put onto the skin. I'm still open to finding a cheaper alternative because this is not cheap. I'm also using the Crave Beauty Oil La La. That one's pretty good, but I also feel like it's not as effective. I don't know. This is just the best, and I've bought bottle after bottle of this. It's like crack for my skin. We go through this every empties, you guys. My PanOxyl 4% benzoyl peroxide creamy face wash. I use this every night. I use it kind of like a mask, so I'll remove my makeup and then I will like smear on a good thick layer of this, leave it for at least 3 minutes, and then I'll go and work this in. It works wonders on my breakouts. It's just the best. Oh, if I don't use this, I like immediately start breaking out. Maybe that means that my skin's dependent on it. Probably. Next, I have just this little small deluxe sample size of the Caudalie Vino Perfect Brightening Dark Spot Serum. I had been wanting to try this actually for such a long time, and I got like a twofer, like this and the eye cream as like a gift with purchase online at Sephora, and this is a really good dark spot corrector. So it is more of that creamy texture. I know you guys can't see it, but it does have a creamy texture. It's almost like a very thin lotion serum. Oh, there you go. There's a little bit in there. And the way that this blends into the skin, it just feels so nice. It feels like a melted down lotion. It has a beautiful scent to it too. I don't know how to describe it. I'm so bad about describing scents, but it's sort of this bright spa-like scent. I don't know. It feels very moisturizing on the skin when you first put it on, but it actually absorbs really nicely. I like to do this step and then brush my teeth, and then I'll go in with the rest of my skincare. And just that time alone, brushing my teeth, it absorbs very, very quickly into the skin. And I also really think that this works. Like, whenever I started using this, I think this lasted me a month, maybe a little over a month, but when I started using it, I was having a lot of active breakouts. I had a lot of active breakouts here on my chin, and typically those take a really long time for my skin to just get rid of, especially with the hyperpigmentation. But even when I'm not wearing makeup, you guys, I can barely see those hyperpigmentation spots. It typically will get a little bit darker before it starts to fade away, but this almost immediately, once those pimples healed and it got a little dark, it like faded. And I'm pretty sure it was this. I took a pause on my other vitamin C serum while I was testing this one out. I kind of wanted to test this one out actually because I was debating on buying the full size. There was a Christmas kit. It was a full size of this and then 2 other products, and I was going back and forth about buying that one, but I have a bunch of vitamin C's in my collection right now. I couldn't justify it, but this works so well. I want to get the full size, but I'm definitely going to be waiting until I use up a couple more vitamin C serums before I pick this up. But I really, really like this. And I've actually also heard that if you're sensitive to vitamin C's, this is a great alternative because it doesn't use the same vitamin C ingredients that other vitamin C's do. Okay. A couple of sunscreens. I don't have that much actually. I'm very, very surprised about that. So first I have this Biore UV Aqua Rich SPF 50 spray. So this one is from Japan. This was actually mainly my husband's. I used it a little bit, but the reason why I didn't use it that much is because a lot of Biore sunscreens from Japan actually have alcohol in them. They're starting to come out with formulations that are alcohol free, but this one I believe does have alcohol. You can kind of smell it in there too. But this is a very beautiful spray sunscreen. It's great for reapplication, but I do find that if you want to use this for your initial sunscreen, you do have to put quite a thick layer. Even then, it absorbs into the skin fairly well and it leaves you with minimal like film. You know how sometimes with spray sunscreens, if you spray too much, it can kind of get a little greasy. This minimal grease, you definitely can feel it on the skin for a while, but after a while, I don't feel it at all. I used this mainly on my body. It's really nice if you want to get like the back of your neck, your shoulders and stuff. But again, if you're using it on your face, just be careful if you are sensitive to any alcohol. It was really nice. It does have a scent though. Like it's a pretty strong scent too. It's kind of like a florally scent, not my favorite. My husband kind of just got tired of it. He found a different sunscreen, the Nivea UV Deep sunscreen, also from Japan, that he likes way more than this one. So there's a little bit left in here, but it wasn't being touched for a while. So I considered this one an empty because we were going to go ahead and just declutter it. The Isntree Hyaluronic Acid Watery Sun Gel, and mine looks funny. It looks so little because I actually cut the top off. One of you guys in my comment section actually let me know that whenever you cut a sunscreen, you have to use it within a day or two because the formula gets compromised by like oxygen and oxidation and stuff like that. So thank you for letting me know that. So I like squeezed the crap out of this until I was pretty confident that all that was left was like maybe one, maybe two uses out of it. But this is an absolute holy grail sunscreen. I don't know what that facial expression was. But this is an incredible sunscreen. It has the, can I take it off? There you go. That little squeezy tube. So it was easy to just apply on your fingertips. It is going to be probably the most lightweight, almost gel cream texture for a sunscreen. It feels exactly like a moisturizer. If you're someone that doesn't like that dry sunscreen film feeling, this does not give that to you. A lot of Asian sunscreens are pretty elite compared to the ones that we have here in America, but this one by far has been my favorite. I have used a handful of different sunscreens from K-Beauty and J-Beauty, but this one has been the one that I go back to every single time. It's just so good. I really want to try the onion repair version that Cassandra Bankson came out with Isntree, but I have yet to purchase that one. I did buy a backup of this one though, or not necessarily a backup. I was running low on this, so I went ahead and restocked on it. Okay, and then just a couple, like 3 body care items, starting with this Aquaphor spray. It's basically Aquaphor in a spray can. I don't remember why I bought this. I bought this over a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago from at this point. I don't remember why I got it, and we have not touched it. It's greasy. I mean, it's like Aquaphor, you know? But the problem with this is when you spray it, it gets all over the floors. Like in the bathroom, it got all over the floors. If you spray it in your bathtub, then it gets all over the bathtub. It's just kind of a mess. So you end up just spraying it in your hands and rubbing it in the same way anyways. And also, I don't necessarily have skin that is in need of Aquaphor in large areas anyways. So we've just had this for so long, and I've held on to it for so long thinking like the second that I get rid of this, we're going to need it for something. Like something is going to happen and we're going to need it. But at that point, I might just go ahead and purchase it because this is fairly inexpensive if I'm remembering correctly. But because I like moved my office and moved the house around essentially. I was decluttering a bunch of things, so I went ahead and checked this into the empties pile. My Kosas deodorant, the green one, it's the Serene Clean. I've gone through a couple of tubes of this so far. I just love the convenience of this roller gel ball. It does take a little while to actually dry down underneath or on your armpits. So what I like to do is after the shower, I shower at night, I will go in and just put this all over my armpits, and then I'll let it dry down as I'm doing my skincare, brushing my teeth and all that stuff before I get dressed, and then it's not an issue. This is a great deodorant. I have actually recommended this to a lot of friends and family, and they really like it too. This has chemical exfoliants in it, so it has AHAs and BHAs, which essentially if you have like darker armpits, it can help lighten them. I've never really had an issue with that, but I do find that the chemical exfoliants in it feel like they actually penetrate my armpits and kill the stinky bacteria. So I can even go like a day or two without wearing deodorant now because I feel like I have purged my body of all that bacteria, you know? So it's super great. And this is actually really nice to travel with. I don't know. It just feels like something that travels well, and it has traveled well. So also the smell is not offensive. My husband has said, like when he's used it himself, he said he doesn't like the smell. It's a little strong, but I don't really smell it, to be honest. Okay, lastly, for body care, we have the Necessaire body wash in Olibanum, which is essentially vanilla. And I don't know why I feel angry about this, but this is the best vanilla body wash scent ever. Like, you know how some vanillas are perfect for like a candle, some vanillas are perfect for a fragrance, some are great for a body wash. This one, the perfect vanilla for a body wash, and you can fight me on it. So this is the perfect vanilla for those of us that are not gourmand girlies. If you want something that's vanilla, but it's still a little woodsy, a little earthy, has a little bit more depth to it. No shade to those that like just like a sweet creamy vanilla. I love a sweet creamy vanilla, but this one in the shower, it just makes you feel like you're at a spa. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. It is incredible. I really considered getting like the jumbo size of the body wash or like restocking on this. But honestly, I have a couple of body washes, including the eucalyptus one that I'm currently using from Necessaire. I am forcing myself to use those up before I go and buy this because this is pricey for a body wash. It's definitely expensive, unfortunately. Oh, but I did buy the lotion during the Sephora sale back in November, and I love it. It actually stays, like the scent stays on your skin, but this is just such a good experience. And again, that same classic Necessaire opening mechanism. Okay, just two more things. And this one, again, another one that I always have in my empties, my Boka toothpaste, the best toothpaste ever. It basically reverses your cavities. I am someone that is cavity prone, and I barely have cavities since I've been using this toothpaste. And then this big old bottle of mouthwash. This is just the TheraBreath Oral Rinse in Invigorating Icy Mint. I like this one, the Icy Mint. I think it's a little bit more of a sweet mint, and it just tastes better to me. The best mouthwash. It doesn't burn. It actually feels like it completely cleans your mouth, and it's good. I don't know. What else can I say about it? It's good. It helps with stinky breath. There you go. And that is everything for Q4 empties, you guys. That wraps up Q4 empties. I'm excited. I feel like we went through a lot of products, and honestly, I liked a lot of them. I liked a good amount of them. And like I mentioned, even though I liked a lot of them, I'm probably not going to be repurchasing a good handful of them, at least for a while, because I definitely have some skincare, some makeup, and some body care and stuff that I'm currently testing out and I need to test out. That's just some information for you guys in case you have been kind of playing with the idea of purchasing any of these products. Please let me know if you guys want to continue seeing these empties videos with 2025. I would love to continue to do these videos because I don't know, I find them so rewarding, and I feel like I can give you guys really, really good in-depth thoughts about them. If you guys like videos like this where we're talking about empties and organizing, decluttering and stuff, I recently did a full makeup declutter video, which I will link right here for you guys. But other than that, if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe before you go, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.